From stealing passwords using the heat of your fingers, to creating visually similar phishing links, these are the 10 new hacking techniques explained in 4 minutes, so let's get started.
Disclaimer.
This video is for educational purposes only. It does not provide step-by-step instructions on how attacks are performed, but rather discusses the techniques used by hackers to spread awareness among individuals interested in cybersecurity. Black hat hacking is highly discouraged and can result in serious legal consequences.
Attack Vector 1, Homograph URL spoofing.
Okay, so starting off, if you're someone who's cautious enough to double-check URLs before clicking them, our first technique might be your next nightmare, as hackers can now register domain names that look exactly like the real ones, using letters that look identical but are actually from different languages. Let me show you what I mean. So if a hacker wanted to spoof this domain right here, he could simply register a new one by swapping the letter A here with an A in Cyrillic, which would visually look the same, but lead to a different website when clicked. Now, while modern browsers try to prevent this by converting such URLs into puny code in the address bar, most email clients don't, which means hackers can send emails that look exactly like they're from official sources.
Attack Vector 2, hacking cheap wireless devices.
Many low-cost wireless devices that use a tiny USB dongle don't encrypt their signals, and if a hacker is within range, he can simply use a tool like the Flipper Zero to scan for these USB dongles, and send spoofed packets that inject keystrokes into a computer within seconds. The reason why this attack is an emerging threat is because of how common these cheap peripherals have become, and also how accessible tools like the Flipper Zero now are.
Attack Vector 3, stealing cars without pressing the unlock button.
Modern cars that automatically unlock when their key fob is nearby are surprisingly vulnerable to attack, as hackers can now use two small devices, with one acting as an amplifier, and the other as a receiver, to boost the low-power signal from a key fob sitting inside a victim's home, and relay it instantly to their car. This tricks the car into thinking the key is nearby, prompting it to unlock, and even start if it has a push-to-start system. To protect yourself, just store your keys inside a Faraday pouch, and if you're interested in learning more, I'd highly recommend you checking out this video by clicking on the I button above.
Attack Vector 4, Android card skimming.
Moving on, what if I told you that anyone with an Android phone, plus a simple app, can now read data from your credit card, without even touching it? Well, that's exactly what a researcher demonstrated in a proof-of-concept video, showing that card skimming no longer needs any fancy gear or special NFC readers, but just an Android phone acting as a fake payment terminal, which can grab your card details the moment it gets close.
Attack Vector 5, thermal attacks.
Another interesting attack revolving around physical security is the use of thermal cameras to grab pins or patterns from the heat traces your fingers leave behind. In one case, researchers built an AI-powered system called ThermoSecure that was able to crack 86% of passwords by analyzing the thermal photos given to it, even if only faint thermal traces were left behind. The thing that makes this attack so effective is that thermal cameras have become quite cheap, making it easier for attackers to pull off this technique without breaking the bank.
Attack Vector 6, fake hotspots that mimic real places.
Imagine you're in a cafe called Swift Wonderland, and spot a Wi-Fi name that matches the cafe's. Thinking it's legit, you connect your device, and just like that, you're now on a network controlled by hackers. This is called an evil twin attack, and it works so well because people tend to trust the official Wi-Fi networks of the places they're in.
Attack Vector 7, quishing.
Speaking of trusting places, hackers are now also replacing legitimate QR codes printed on cafe menus or restaurant tables with malicious stickers that redirect victims to fraudulent websites designed to steal their credit card information or trigger automatic downloads. To protect yourself, avoid QR codes when you have other options, as scanning them is like clicking on a link you can't see.
Attack Vector 8, browser in the browser attack.
If you're someone who loves using login with Facebook or other quick options on websites, I've got a bad news for you. Hackers are now creating fake login pop-ups on sketchy sites that look exactly like the real thing, but are actually phishing pages. The worst part about this is that it isn't even an exploit, but pure deception, which means there's no browser fix for it other than awareness.
Attack Vector 9, easily spoofing caller ID.
Another unsettling threat on the rise is caller ID spoofing. With tools that anyone can easily find online, hackers are now making calls that appear to come from trusted sources, and because the target's phone displays a legitimate number, many people fall for it without suspecting a thing.
Attack Vector 10, the invisible malware in your browser.
Finally, if you're someone who's always searching for cool Chrome extensions or productivity tools, you should know that hackers are now creating extensions that seem useful to lure people in, and quietly steal their login information or cookies. As of 2025, security researchers have uncovered dozens of extensions that were secretly hijacking sessions or stealing data, all while looking completely harmless. Anyway guys, so that's it for the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments section down below, and I'll see you in the next one.